The first moment from Vinegar Tom that I chose in response to Prompt B is when Betty was being treated for her hysteria through bloodletting. And so, a decision that the actor made vocally during the scene was that she repeated the same sequence to herself about why she was strapped down, why she was bleeding, etc. And the more and more that she said it, she seemed to grow more anxious and confused every time that she said the sequence. And so I believe that this contributed to the storytelling because it showed that while she was trying while she was putting forth her very best effort to understand why she was being put through this, it was extremely difficult for her to fathom why this was happening to her. And I think that this is very applicable to this time period in general that Vinegar Time takes place in, because obviously nowadays we know things like bloodletting treatment and stuff like that just logically does not make sense and it's not effective. But in that time, people believed that it was effective and that that was the way to treat things. And so obviously it was very valid that she was confused and her feelings were very valid because, like I said, nowadays we know that that stuff does not work and it's not effective. Um, and so, also, a decision that I believe the director made spatially during the scene is that, aside from the doctor, Betty did not interact with any other characters, and she was not really in close proximity to any other characters during the scene. And so, I believe that this reveals a bit about Betty's character because it shows just how lonely she was, both literally and in her mind, because nobody was really there to try and talk things through with her and try and make some sense of why she was going through this. She was all alone during this scene. So this leads me to the second moment that I chose, which was when Jack attacked and confronted Alice and demanded for his manhood back. And so, a decision that the actor made vocally was that Jack's character raised his voice when he confronted Alice, which I believe showed that he was not afraid to confront her. But not only that, but that Jack was so sure of her being a witch, because I think that had he had any doubts about her being a witch, he would not have been so aggressive and so confrontational with her. It also showed that he did not care to be gentle with her, considering that Jack made the physical decision to lay his hands on Alice and nearly choke her out during this scene, which I also believe contributes to the fact that he just had little consideration for her, and also that his feelings for her were very superficial and that he only wanted her for her pleasure. Looking back to earlier in the show when, he tried to seduce Alice and, this and that. So I believe that he just saw her as an object rather than a person, and once again, his feelings were very superficial, not deep at all.